Okay.
It's the winter of 1985. A family living in a remote region of the Philippines receives a package at their door, which contained a single VHS tape and a note stating that the contents were for the children of the house. And so the kids were gathered up one by one and sat in front of the television where the tape began to play, introducing them to a brand new show called
Life with Grandpa. Okay.
Life with Grandpa.
This was the
I'm not liking the show already.
experience for hundreds of kids across the world, made to watch a seemingly harmless puppet show about a grandpa and his family, with most of the young viewers loving it, gladly watching this episode and the many others that would be sent later on, over and over again, blissfully unaware that what they were being shown would someday come to be known as one of the most disturbing rabbit holes in the history of children's media.
Bro, what?
This is the story of Life with Grandpa, the darkest kids show ever made.
Nothing can harm you when Jesus is near.
Dad, I don't want you to leave.
Can I persuade you to subscribe?
Before we dive any further down this rabbit hole, I want to first thank today's video sponsor,
Oh,
Sailing.
yo, thanks to the sponsor. Yo.
Love to play.
Crowley at checkout, or you can also scan the code on screen right now and get started today.
Cool.
Fellowship dedicated to sharing.
She loved to play on the steep hillside. Life with Grandpa, won't you?
What the freak, man? I want to watch the sponsor. My fault, yo. That's me, bro.
This is Life with Grandpa,
Right.
a straight-to-VHS show made for children created sometime in the mid-80s. The program followed a family of humanoid puppets on their journey to teach the audience lessons loosely based on Christianity, through the use of stories, skits, and songs, acting as a guide for children to live their best possible lives for Jesus.
We're continuing with some more lessons about prayer. Are you all ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What the hell?
Thank you, Lord. Such sweethearts.
The show was set up in an episodic fashion, never following any main overarching storyline, and instead, each installment would be composed of a series of shorter segments, recounting past experiences from this family, with an occasional musical number thrown in here and there.
We don't have a sad God. We have a happy God who wants us to be happy too.
Unsurprisingly, the main character of the crew was Grandpa, who acted as the
VeggieTales
show's
better
host,
off here?
often being
That's
the one to
goated,
teach the episode's central messages not only to his on-screen family, but to all the kids watching
My
at home.
God.
But it's my kite.
But wouldn't you like to pray that some poor little
What
boy
are you
who doesn't
watching?
have so many toys and
Darkest
blessings
Kids
as
TV
you
show
do will find
ever
your
made, or
kite?
the Darkest Kids TV
Yes,
show ever made.
Grandpa.
As he was made to be a wise, almost religious-like figure, whose words were never questioned.
Okay.
Often seen by his side was his wife, Mother Maria, though for as often as she's shown, she rarely has much to say.
Yes, thank the Lord for such a good, sweet boy.
Typically only chiming in when she's reiterating Grandpa's messages to the children. And of the children, there was Davida, Techi, and Davidito, with the latter being one of the show's central figures, landing right next to or potentially
What,
even
actually
ahead
watched
of
that
Grandpa in
new show?
terms
Wait,
of screen
what?
time, as Davidito often got his own segments and told his own stories directly to the audience.
Hello, children. Would you like to hear some exciting prayer adventures?
Okay.
This first story happened when I was very small.
And though it's never outright stated, it's clear that Davidito was put on a pedestal, with the child often getting special treatment and being showered in
Creepy
gifts,
video,
as the family clearly seemed to favor him.
Thank you, Uncle Al.
It's called a kite.
We want to give you a little surprise because you were such a good witness.
This brand new tape recorder is for you.
Thank you, Jesus.
With there never being an
Nice.
explanation as to why. This is the core group of Life with Grandpa, with the only other reoccurring characters being Aunt Sarah and Uncle Elf, a couple that was often shown around the house
He the
helping
favorite
look
child,
after
bro.
the
I'm already
kids.
knowing who the.
And
That's
despite
gotta
this
be the
looking
favorite.
like something pulled straight from the depths of the Uncanny Valley, the content within the show didn't really seem all that troublesome. In fact, it appeared fairly normal,
I was about to
and
say,
not
a
too
little normal
unlike
for
the many
now.
other low-budget religious shows of the time, highlighting themes like obedience,
Nothing short of right is right.
Yes, so the right thing is...
To obey.
sharing,
Good morning, Davida. I have a surprise for you. Oh, can I see it? I would like to share my cars with you. Which ones do you like?
and loving everyone.
That's really sweet of you, David. Thank you for that nice, generous present.
What present?
That nice kiss. A kiss makes a real beautiful gift or present.
Nice.
Though mixed within these fairly
Weak-ass
standard
cars,
teachings,
dude.
you'll find other moments
What the
that
fuck?
are far more unusual.
Yo. Bro.
Don't run down that gravel hill. Davida!
Bro, why is she not like... Davida, why did you not listen?
Davida.
Now you're hurt. Davida.
She's bleeding, and
Oh
her
my-
cut is all covered with dirt.
Oh my
And I
God,
don't even
Davida,
have a
bro.
tissue to wipe it with. I'll just have to
I'm
lick
confused.
it clean.
Is this
And
like
spit-
Amanda the Adventurer? I don't think... Well, Amanda the Adventurer was a haunted show, technically, right? This is just... I don't know what the darkest part of the show is yet. They just explained in the show so far.
Get out the dirt.
Maybe it could be Amanda. Maybe the tapes are like... Bro, I'm yapping, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I'll just shut up. I'll just shut up.
The show featured a
This
lot
for real,
of
the
strange
Amanda
underlying
prequel,
themes that seem
yeah.
to have nothing to do with religion, or at least not the conventional beliefs of Christianity, with one of the more obvious being its unprompted disdain for doctors.
We'll have to really pray.
Too
that
early to
there
make
won't be
theories,
a
bro. I'm
scar.
saying, bro. It's only
Soon
5 minutes in.
afterwards, there was
6
no
minutes.
sign at all of the deep gash on Davida's forehead. Surely a doctor would have stitched it, but our God is still a God of miracles. Praise the Lord.
As well as its constant endorsement of spanking.
This is where the Muppets came.
Jesus
Yeah.
thanks us because he loves us and wants us to obey and be good.
We getting the spankings.
We're really sorry. So if the Lord should
Okay.
spank you a little bit
He whipping
or correct
you, dude.
it's for your own good. It's because he loves you
Why all
and
their
wants
voice in
you
monotone?
to be good and
They're
obey.
reading the scripts.
And while these are certainly strange, by far the most
got no
glaring
emotion.
indication that Life with Grandpa wasn't just your typical kids show came from the program's stance on women, with the first major
I
example
was a
coming
kid,
from a
they didn't
song
turn
made
this
for
joint off.
the young girls watching on.
I'm not watching this. To be
So
honest.
do the dishes and clean the floor, and God can show us something more. I'm ready for any job at all, whether it's great or whether it's
It's hard going
small.
crazy though.
I'm ready to go, ready to stay, ready my place to fill. Ready for service, lowly or great,
okay.
ready to do God's will.
Look at music,
The
bro.
message
Like he
behind the
know what
song
he
is
doing,
clear.
bro.
If you're a woman, then it's your job to cook, clean, and have babies. And that's about it, as this is God's will and your sole
You
purpose
seeing it,
for
right? And he's
existing.
not like, bro.
And while this ideology was certainly not as controversial at the time, the show took it even further, as it hammered home this idea to all the children
you
watching
agree?
on by
No.
repeating one line at the end over and over again.
Trust and
Especially
obey.
now, bro. Like, bro, shit, nigga. Life is too hard to just fucking set roles and shit, nigga. We rich? Are we rich? Nigga, we broke as shit. Nigga, we all gotta get money. That ass, he agrees. Nigga, You know what? Sure, Zanaya. You're right. You read me like a book.
For there's no other way. Trust and obey. For
I cook for myself, fuck the BS. Now, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I can't cook. I'm gonna be honest.
I
can't cook. I can cook what I sorta know.
Making it clear that this was a lesson that the showrunners
Anything
didn't want
new,
these kids
probably
to
gonna burn down the
question.
kitchen.
But as comically offensive as this song is, it was far from the worst that the show had to offer.
Gooner's never sexist. I guess that's what GNS thinks.
It's time for our electric
Bro, that S doesn't stand for sex.
In another episode, we're shown a musical number about Grandpa,
GNS equals gay nigga sexist.
who's portrayed as a
Okay.
scientist that's always busy working.
Sure.
Though the song is really less about him
What's good, Deuce?
and more
Imagine
about
this on a beat.
his love interest.
I'm sorry. My mind isn't together. I'm not gonna lie to you. Ignore what I'm about to say in the next 5 seconds. I thought this nigga had titties. Is that a robot with yitties? Okay, so I'm not the only one, right?
Watch her flick and spin. Ooh, yeah.
A robot with long hair and nude female breasts.
Oh, so it was supposed to be titties. Why is this on a kid's TV show? Why are you looking, bro? It's right. It's goddamn taking at least 20% of the screen. Dude, we're banned.
It's one of the most surreal things that I've ever seen on a kid's show,
Why
as
is-
this thing was clearly meant to be a portrayal of Grandpa's
He's
wife
stuttering,
and
okay.
women in general, likening them to robots. Though unlike the previous demeaning
Why would this
song,
be on a
this
kid's
number
show?
is blatantly perverted, as it not only shows the robot having breasts, but it also shows Grandpa fondling them as well.
Yo.
And these perversions weren't even exclusive to its imagery.
What's in his key? That's when she gets excited.
He puts in his key, and that's when she gets excited. Stand up, I guess I'm bricked.
It's shocking for so many reasons,
Like,
but
what?
mainly due to the fact that this was on a show that was literally made for toddlers and young children, who are now being shown
That's
this clearly
creepy,
explicit
though.
content. And most disturbing of all,
Yo,
is
lock the owner up, creator, whatever. Whoever made the show, I'm not gonna lie, kill him.
the realization that this sexualized material was
Yeah, I'm gonna
actually
need you to wake
nothing
up.
new
All
to
jokes
the
aside,
world
that's
of
weird.
Life
That's
with
insane.
Grandpa.
Whoa, what the?
Predating the puppets, there was a little-known illustrated book series called Life of Grandpa, with the show practically being a shot-for-shot remake of this book series, featuring the same exact characters and
They made
stories.
there was
And
a
much
story
like the
before?
show, the series was also a religious guide created for children. In its pages, you'll find themes about morality and lessons made to guide you towards a proper way of living through this religion. But these books also had a very apparent dark side.
They're trying to say that women are robots because they only cook, clean, and care for children. You see, I didn't even put that connection together. That makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot of sense. Oh my God.
One far worse than the show it inspired.
That's crazy. Open your eyes.
In the chapter Real Fathers, we're shown a scene where Techi and Davidito question why they have two different skin colors, despite them being siblings, as Techi noticed that Davidito's skin appeared light brown, while hers was almost pure white, to which Grandpa then explains to them how
ears.
his wife and their
That makes a lot
mother
more sense.
had slept with other men.
What?
See, God used Timothy and Carlos only to fuck mama so that I could have you both. They were just like an instrument or tool that Jesus used to help create you wonderful little children for his kingdom. Praise the Lord. This was followed by an in-depth explanation of what that scene looked like, including images depicting the act.
Yo.
Examples
Bro.
like this are prevalent all throughout the pages of Life with Grandpa, with erotic
Yo.
material being shown constantly with no regard as to how inappropriate this is to be showing kids.
That's
which begs the
crazy.
obvious question. Why? Why was Life with Grandpa so blatantly perverted? Well, the answer lies with the author of the books, and the reason for the show's existence.
Okay. The author needs to die too.
David Berg.
David Berg.
He shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together.
Whose
as a
freaky ass dad
That's
made this?
when Jesus is going to come
Why he look like Grandpa himself in this show? Is this based off of him? You freak ass nigga.
back to rapture his saints, to gather them together.
Oh my God, bro! I don't know what it is with these creepy videos and giving us close-ups, but I promise I did not need to get a close-up.
In 1919,
Like, I
David grew up a
promise.
devout believer in Christianity, but wanted something more from the religion. He dreamed of one day starting his own group with his own teachings.
What?
And in 1968, at the ripe
Okay,
age of
ignore
50,
Zanaya.
he decided it was time to do just that. The group began in Huntington Beach, California, and went by many names over the years, like
Tomahawk.
Teens for Christ, the Children of God, the Family of
So a
Love,
cult, yeah.
the Family International, or just the Family. But regardless of its name, there was no denying what this group was.
Right.
A cult.
Come on.
A cult led
Man, come on, bro. You locked in, bro. I'm seeing it.
by David Berg. Berg would find young hippies and those struggling with drug addiction and mental health issues, and convince them to join his
Family,
group by
Only the family OTF. This is Yo, you niggas are so. Yo, bro, this is so dumb, bro.
stating that the end of the world was coming soon, and that they needed to follow in his path and join his family to save their souls.
Bro, this is
It was
serious.
pretty standard cult ideology.
Heard
but
this
at the
group
time,
before?
it was extremely effective.
That's
With the sect
crazy.
amassing a staggering 10,000 members.
I never
at
heard
its
of this
peak.
before.
And at first, David got by with fairly standard teachings from the Bible, although this wouldn't last. After some time, Berg began addressing his followers via frequent illustrated messages called Mo letters that featured his ramblings and teachings from the time, with Berg slowly
No, it's not
ingraining
a
into his
cult. Gene,
members
it's
that
not
the
a cult.
contents of these letters should be taken as seriously, if not more so, than the Bible. In one of these
Thinks
letters
it's a
sent
crime
out
show
in
or something?
1972, Berg claimed that God
Wait,
was
was
going
that
to
DC?
the Bible.
I'm sorry, that
In one of these letters sent
is that not the money? But that nigga is DC. This is DC.
out in 1972, Berg claimed that God was going to destroy the United States and that the group needed to flee the country immediately.
I beg your
with Berg
pardon?
demanding that his followers spread out all across the globe and open up communal
That is the Statue of Liberty. Okay, Zanaya.
homes where members could
All
live
right.
as one, far away from the public eye. As a result, many members packed up their things and left right away, leading to roughly 130 communities being established across 70 different countries, essentially overnight. This mass migration had an extremely significant impact on the family, as it left practically the entire group outside of the United States, and more importantly, outside of the United States jurisdiction, meaning that Berg could now get away with far more than he used to. And unsurprisingly, this is where he began to tighten his control.
Oh no, it's bad.
The full-time members were made to give up all of their earthly possessions to the group and cease all contact with their family and friends who were non-believers, cutting them off from the outside world completely. And these restrictions also applied to the media they consumed.
Yo, what's good, Angel?
In his teachings, Berg denounced all forms of entertainment made outside of the cult, since he believed that this would poison the minds of his members and potentially sway them into leaving the group.
Wait, what did he say? I didn't hear what he was listening. I'm not gonna lie, I zoned out. I was just like, this is the regular theme song. I mean, I guess it's not a regular theme song. Okie dokie.
In his teachings, Berg denounced all forms of entertainment made
outside okay, bro. Please leave me out of this.
Of the cult.
Please leave me out of this,
poison the
bro.
minds of his members and potentially sway them into leaving the group. And so, instead, he insisted that his followers only consume media that was produced directly by the family.
You had to be extremely weak or wait, damn. Oh my god, I almost started stuttering. You have to be extremely weak mentally or just ignorant to join a cult. To be honest, yeah. Or just extremely, yeah. I mean, if you're getting brainwashed, your mental is just so weak. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. That's crazy. And drugs and trauma play a role. Yeah, it makes sense too. So 90% why people join. But I feel like, bro, drugs fuck up your mental so bad, bro. I don't like, dude. It's crazy, bro. You're mentally weak though? Yeah, you got me, bro. I'm joining a cult tomorrow.
Works off
stupid ass. No, I'm not fucking joining a cult, nigga. I'm not fucking mentally weak. Fucking strong.
Often being created by Berg himself or the other followers he enlisted, and then shipped directly to the members' homes, leading to hundreds, if not thousands of videos, movies, and TV shows being produced and shared among the family. But for Berg, this wasn't just about providing entertainment. It was really all about controlling the minds of his group, and even more importantly, indoctrination,
it's not a cult, I'll tell you that,
with his primary targets being children.
What?
From birth, most kids were not shown any media other than what the cult gave their parents, with these works quite literally shaping their minds into following everything that the cult believed in without question. The main themes of these were usually things like always be happy,
more than 70 little muscles form a rowdy face,
but only 14 muscles put a smile in its place on your face.
always show love, and never, under any circumstances, question your parents.
Always best to do it 'cause Daddy said so. Do it 'cause Daddy said so. Do it 'cause Daddy said so. Trust, obey, and do it 'cause Daddy said so. Do it 'cause Daddy said so. 'Cause Daddy knows best.
And Life with Grandpa was no exception, as it too was created by the family in order to
Crimson,
instill their beliefs into its child viewers. With the line,
using God to take advantage of people and kids. It's basically what this shit is. And I feel like it's getting worse and worse as he keeps going through this video.
And obey.
The fuck is this? The darkest kids TV show ever made.
Being hammered home time and time again, as those creating the programs didn't want their kids questioning any of the practices. And so they were teaching them to simply smile along and trust the adults. But because the group was the one producing and distributing the content, they basically had no regulations placed on them,
that's a whole
meaning
nother
that they could
rabbit
include
hole, bro.
whatever they want in these shows without any repercussions, leading to many of the showrunners exploring some of the group's more controversial beliefs, which becomes extremely troublesome when you realize that the family wasn't just your standard cult, and instead, it was a sex cult.
When you think of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, what are you thinking about? You think about a beautiful naked man and a beautiful naked woman. And
get this freak ass nigga out my ear, bro.
What is the first thing that a beautiful naked man and a beautiful naked woman would, of course, naturally do as soon as they saw each other and nobody else around? I think just one look was all it took. And bloop.
David Berg was a deeply perverted man. The idea of sex consumed him and seeped its way into essentially all of his teachings.
I think Adam and Eve are over there behind those bushes right now, busy making, not pina colada, I think they're making some other kind of juices.
And once his followers were...
Yo!
outside of the US, he began to preach something he called the law of love, which essentially said that the family should be showing all people love, and that love
Why was that even
should come in the form of sex.
I practice what I preach, and I preach sex, boy.
I preach sex is crazy. Voice of Moses David Berg, cult leader.
And girls, hallelujah.
And so he told his followers to open up their relationships to outsiders, calling the practice sharing, as you were made to share your partner in the hopes of enticing new people to join the group.
Bro,
but he wasn't satisfied with just this, and instead he began to mandate that the women of the group participate in something he called flirty fishing. Also known as FF, flirty fishing describes the practice of women going into bars at night in order to pick up lonely men, who they would then entertain for the night. The goal of this was to convince these men to join the family, though more realistically, the goal was also to make money, as they were made to charge for their services, with the women being told to seek lonely businessmen. And this is
first of all, that's prostitution. Second of all, nigga, everything about this shit is illegal. Now I'm thinking about, bro, nigga, he was a pimp, literally.
Something that Berg not only pushed heavily, but outright mandated, insisting that every woman in the group do this or face being removed from the family, even those who were married. And Berg was so serious about this that he sent every colony report forms so that they could report how much flirty fishing was being done, in order to check their statistics and make sure that they were up to par.
Nigga had, like,
flirty fishing was being done, in order to check their statistics.
Like, what do you mean statistics, bro? He a pedo. Yes, he damn near everything under the fucking book. Sex trafficker, pimp, nigga, fucking cult leader. Like, bro, the nigga did everything, dude. He really had a system, bro. This is ridiculous. Like,
and make sure that they were up to par.
Andrew Tate.
Understandably, many women of the group were concerned by this and wanted nothing to do with it.
Damn.
However, most of them had moved all the way across the world and sacrificed.
Bro, these son, I know. Bro, I promise. Oh God, I see it, bro. Bro, you can't even, bro. They literally won't let you say shit or Diddy no more. I mean, I'm not complaining because nigga, like, it's Diddy. Out of my head like crazy, bro. It's so crazy, bro. This shit is out of my level 0. Nigga, what is out on my level 0?
All of their belongings to be in this group, meaning that their removal would leave them with nothing. They were trapped. Wow. Simply put, Berg was forcing the women of the group into prostitution, and he was shameless about it too, calling them God's whores and Christ's hookers. The worst of all, Berg knew that flirty fishing
I forgot we did it a while ago. That makes sense. That makes a lot more sense now that I'm thinking about it.
And could put these women in grave danger, as he admitted to them that violent assaults were going to happen, but he said that if you want to live, simply don't resist. And if you do get hurt or even killed, that's entirely your fault, as after all, it was God's will. And this was on top of a myriad of other horrific things that Berg said that I can't even repeat here. But the man saying all of these horrific things was the same man who wrote Life with Grandpa, and he used this medium to normalize his sex cult's beliefs for the children watching.
That's crazy. That's insane.
Which gives more context as to why women were portrayed in the way they were in these books and the show, as Life with Grandpa was breaking down the young girls watching and grooming them for a life of prostitution that they were made to accept without question.
This whole show is to groom children.
Though the show wasn't only for preparing the kids for the perverse lifestyles they were headed for, and instead, they were already becoming well accustomed to it.
What? That kind of scared me for some reason. I'm a scary, bro. I'm a scaredy cat. Why did that kind of scare me?
In his Mo letters, Berg also began
You're so pussy, no, on God, dude.
To preach that children should be involved in these affairs and sharing as well, stating that he believed age should have nothing to do with it. In fact, he believed that children should be taught about this lifestyle essentially as soon as they're born. And
jail, yo, bro. How was niggas just hearing that and was like, oh yeah, hey bro, that's a message you got there. Hey bro, go spread it around, bro. What? Dude, what? We gonna have to burn this nigga at the stake. That ass. We gonna have to find this man and burn him at the stake. Hopefully you already did. Nigga, look, this was in the 80s, 70s? Bro, oh my God. No one blissed him this whole time, bro. There's no way. I hope towards the end of this, he tells me he was like hunted down or something. Like, there's no way, bro.
Although,
as soon as
again,
they're born,
I can't
it's
read his
crazy.
exact words on this. Berg had declared open season on pedophilia,
Excuse me.
and much like flirty fishing, it was mandatory.
Bro.
The abuse that followed is unimaginable, at a scale far too large to fully know to this day. Abuse that the parents of the children not only allowed, but often participated in, with one of the more notorious large-scale accounts coming from something that the group called the Love Video. This movie was a result of Berg sending out requests to all of the parents to send him lewd videos of their children dancing, which
I'm actually getting like, yo, this is, gang. I'm actually getting upset. Like, this is actually fucking my brain right now, bro. Like, dude. So we killed the parents too, bro. Yes, because, bro, brainwashed fucking weird ass fucking parents. That fucking everybody in this whole shit is just everybody just needs to fucking get taken off the map.
He not only took for himself, but packaged together into a long-form compilation video that was then distributed to all of the cult's members, encouraging the others to film similar content, with Berg going as far as creating a guide to help create the perfect video. And not only did many parents go along with this, but many clearly enjoyed it.
Keita shared with us the video that just came from World Services, and it was so inspiring. It was so beautiful. The love video.
And for this couple specifically, this wasn't the only order that they were happily following.
And it was really a blessing too for Joe and Hobo, because they had a good chance to share also with Sally. And so the Lord's really setting us freer and freer to obey and to be free and to show that sample of freedom and love to the world.
Well, the way these motherfuckers are just
Life with Grandpa was literally created to indoctrinate kids into a pedophilic sex cult, and it makes you realize why exactly it and so many other of the cult's programs were hammering home this point of not questioning your parents or any adults, and to simply obey and smile.
So the right thing is
to obey.
Because the adults in their lives were now suddenly doing unimaginable things to them, and they were being groomed not to question it, making some of the show's segments horrendous in hindsight.
Why did Nightbot just randomly send... What the fuck?
A very special way you can show the big people that you love them is by giving them lots of hugs, kisses, and cuddles.
Oh, because of creepy. I forgot it did that.
Child's love and affection really encourages and inspires the big people.
It was normalizing their abuse, and because of this, many children never questioned the horrible assaults that they endured. Assaults that were all fueled and pushed by David Berg's sick perversions.
God created boys and girls.
I wonder how they got cops. He's going on for decades.
By about the age of 12 years of age. God, now he's going to advocate child and sex. Yes.
Which were far from theoretical, as Berg himself allegedly partook in this practice repeatedly with his own children and stepchildren, as incest was also a key point of his.
Bro, and then the nigga just gonna drop the bomb like, yo!
His teachings, and his adult followers rarely dared to question this, as those who refused to partake in Berg's latest teachings were again at risk of removal from the group, which is even more devastating for those who had children, as much like all of their possessions, their kids were pledged and belonged to the family. And the kids themselves couldn't seek help either, as those that refused to trust and obey were sent away to actual prison camps owned by the cult, until they were basically reprogrammed.
They made camps. I was sent with my brother to the Philippines. We had armed guards from the Filipino military keeping us in. They would publicly beat you if you asked to leave, then try to break you and get you to confess.
And the group continuously got away with this too, thanks in large part to Berg's orchestration of the group leaving the United States, which looking back was almost certainly done on purpose. Plus, many members were actually living in hiding. In fact, all of the members were made to change their names upon joining the group, and most were told to never give out their last names, meaning that if any child wanted to report the abuse that had happened to them, they would be unable to provide even the names of their abusers. And this included Berg too, who at this point lived most of his life in hiding, going by numerous aliases to avoid detection. Aliases like King, Moses, Mo, Dad, and eventually Grandpa.
Yo, and it goes back to this shit, dude. It goes back to the fucking show. That's crazy. That makes the show 10 times more creepier, bro.
The entire show was about him, David Berg, which is why he was shown as a wise, unquestioned religious-like figure who the children were made to look up to. And that wasn't all, as the characters shown alongside Berg were also members of his real-life family that lived with him in a remote commune.
Yo.
Mother Maria was the nickname of Karen Zerby, David's wife who helped him run the cult and facilitate this era of hypersexualization, while Aunt Sarah was based on Sarah Kelly, the woman in charge of running the prison camp made to punish the kids who dared question the family's beliefs.
Sarah Kelly, who was responsible for me being held against my will in the Philippines.
But the most grotesque detail to come from the revelation of who these characters are was that it showcased David Berg's polygamy, as he was actually married to many people in the real world, and 2 characters on the show itself, Mother Maria and Davida.
Yo, gang. That's supposed to be your child, bro. Like, nigga. Oh my god. Yo, bro. Yo, like, I'm dead ass thinking this shit can't get worse, and this shit gets worse every time, bro. That was supposed to be for his kids. And the nigga, like, marrying his own kids. Like, yo.
His then 5-year-old stepdaughter. Davida would eventually go on to tell her story, stating that she had been Berg's child bride.
And there was a ceremony with the ring and everything, and once I turned 5 years old was when I was implicated into being one of his queens, so to speak.
Along with allegations that she had been victimized by him countless times. And she wasn't the only victim of Berg's perversions. Techi was often sexualized by Berg publicly, with Berg having stories made and illustrated depicting his fantasies about her when she was just a child. On top of this, numerous people within the group also claimed that she had been outright assaulted by the hands of Berg, as well as many others in the group.
And look at our pretty girls today. You're dressed in such nice dresses and your hair looks so nice. Yes, you look so pretty for all the children that are watching today.
The context of who these characters are makes this already disturbing show that much more sickening. But of all of the horrible stories to come from the real-life characters of Life with Grandpa, there's one that is far and away the most horrific. The story of Davidito.
Oh my god.
David is such a handsome boy, isn't he, girls? Would you like for David to share some more lessons?
I have a feeling where I think I have a feeling where this is going, bro. And I'm kind of scared, bro. I can't even try. I just gotta sit here and watch uncomfortably, bro.
Yes, Grandpa.
Are you all ready?
Bro, Cholan finna make this shit
David.
10 times
You
worse.
have the floor.
It's real shit.
His real name was Ricky Rodriguez, and as a baby, he was taken in as Berg's son following Maria conceiving him with a man after a night of flirty fishing. And being David's first son, he was given the nickname Davidito. As for David Berg, he viewed this child as essentially a messiah. He began telling his followers that Davidito would one day save them from the apocalypse, causing Davidito to become a celebrity within the group, worshipped as a religious figure when he was just a baby. Which explains why he was given so much airtime during Life with Grandpa, and why he was constantly being showered with gifts.
We want to give you a little surprise because you were such a good witness.
And for David and Karen, they wanted Davidito's life and childhood to be a guide for all members of the group, as they raised him in what they believed to be the perfect manner for a godly household. And so the couple and several other contributors documented the way he was raised, with daily journal entries that were published as weekly newsletters, and eventually turned into one massive book titled The Story of Davidito. And the family truly believed that this over 700-page book was the ultimate guide for parenting and showed the only proper way to raise a child. Though what it actually showed was just how badly Davidito was being abused. Davidito is described laying next to his nude nannies, witnessing orgies involving his own mother, and being touched sexually by the adults around him.
Oh my god.
With these examples being presented through not only written stories, but actual photographs, with the adults involved having their faces removed and drawings placed over the top of them in order to hide their identities.
Bro,
the book was not only promoting sexual acts with children, but it was outright showing it, and showing it happen to Davidito. And because of this, we have a daily journal entry of all the abuse that this child suffered, starting when he was an infant. Despite all the heinous acts that had been going on within the family, they had up until this point gone virtually unchecked by the public eye. But the story of Davidito would prove to be the first domino to fall, as the book leaked to the press.
Tonight, the cult Children of God, founded by Moses David Berg, he reportedly sanctioned sex among children.
This immediately became a news story all across the world, and it began shining a light on the family and its twisted beliefs. But despite all the constant news coverage, and the story of Davidito being tangible proof of the cult's horrible practices, there was still essentially nothing done to stop them, as very few arrests were ever—
What the fuck do you mean nothing there to stop them? Nigga, I feel like you got all the information you need to like get this nigga in jail. Am I tripping or not? Nigga, what? Bro, what? You saw 1,000 kids is trapped. They're out of the country, but like, I forgot they are all over the country. They fucking escaped and this nigga's fucking controlling them, but like, bro, and there's no way to contact them, so I forgot about that whole shit, bro. Oh my God, bro. This didn't affect their money, so the government did nothing, bro.
were made as a result, and even fewer resulted in convictions, so nothing was ever done to help Davidito. And so during his entire childhood and his early adult years, he stayed with the group, though the older he got, the more he began to see the family for what they really were, and the constant pain that he was experiencing eventually made him want to just run away from it all. And so, in 1999, that's exactly what he did. Fleeing to the United States in the hopes of starting a new life. Though this was easier said than done, and no amount of distance was enough to keep him away from his tortured past.
At that point, bro, that nigga's brain is so fucking cooked, bro. Like, bro, all that trauma, bro. Dude.
Time in the United States, Ricky actually opened up about the struggles he was experiencing on a website made for survivors of the family. And there, he documented just how bad things really were for him and several others behind the scenes, living with Berg, appropriately titling the post, Life with Grandpa. It was apparent that he was haunted by this life that he tried to escape, as the trauma was an everyday cycle of hell, and he just couldn't take it anymore.
Do you know that sometimes the Lord likes to test our faith, to teach us patience, and to really make us pray? This is just what happened to me once.
Yikes, bro.
Well, hey everyone. I want people to know that even though some of the things that I'm going to try to do are rather shocking and maybe not right in a lot of people's books, I want to explain some of the reasons behind it.
On January 7th, 2005, Ricky Rodriguez set up a video camera in his apartment and expressed his desire to kill his mother and other leaders of the group for all the dreadful things that they had done not only to him, but to all the other children, with his hope being that this would finally bring down the family once and for all.
My goal,
oh my God,
was to get those sick bucks, Ma and Peter, and you know, then I can go to the next life knowing that you know, that I made a difference.
With Ricky going as far as to show off the various ways that he planned on torturing them.
I'm gonna have to make do. I got my drill here. Got lots of fucking duct tape.
God knows, he hears, he cares.
Dude, I don't even blame him.
His girls and
I'm not
boys.
gonna, the way the video started, I thought it was gonna say he was gonna like end game himself, bro. I need context. I'm not gonna lie, bro. It's a lot. Long story short, there was a cult leader that made, or it was a sex cult leader that made a children's show based on God, even though that shit got nothing to do with God. And the niggas escaping from it and shit.
He gives his very best to those who let him choose the toys.
Wow.
By this point, David Berg had been dead for years, though the family carried on with his mother, Karen Zerby, assuming
kill them niggas.
Full control.
I would just be blunt, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna try to fuck no, bro.
Which explains why she was the primary target.
I'm not even
Much
gonna,
like Berg, Karen spent most of her life in hiding, with Ricky being unable to track her down, though he was able to find Angela Smith, one of the nannies responsible for raising him, as well as one of his most prominent abusers, as she was even shown in the story of Davidito assaulting him.
GG.
At this point, Ricky was exhausted, and Angela was his last shot at getting intel to help him find his mother and finally carry through on his plans. and so he invited her over for dinner under the guise of rejoining the group.
I went home that night and tried to wait patiently for the next day. But the Lord still had more lessons that he wanted to teach me. This is what happened.
Before Ricky could even get the information he was looking for, something in him snapped, and midway through their conversation, Ricky grabbed a knife and stabbed Karen in the arm, and then slit her throat. He fled the area that night, driving for hours until he reached California, the place that years before David Berg had started the family. There, he called his ex-wife, professing to everything he did, saying that he did it mainly for his sister Techi, but he felt no better. In fact, he felt worse. And even looking back at the video, it's very obvious that this was something that Ricky didn't truly want to do, and instead he felt like he had to do it, to avenge everyone that the family had hurt.
I'm not trained. I don't know how to fucking do this. I don't even want to fucking do this. God damn it.
And it was too late to take back what he did, and so he stopped the car in a dark parking lot, sat there for a moment thinking about everything that had happened during his painful life, and ended his suffering once and for all.
In a way, that's what these fuckers have done to us. They didn't actually, grab a knife and cut us up, but man, they sure fucked up our brains. That's the way it was at Grandpa and Mama's house. Literally or figuratively, they're going down. So, with that happy thought, I shall leave you.
Ricky Rodriguez's death was devastating for the community of survivors of the family, and it caused shockwaves all throughout the family itself, as his final video was plastered all over the news. And though it didn't happen in the way he expected it or wanted it to, Ricky's life and death undoubtedly contributed to the decline of the family, and helped diminish the cycle of abuse within the group. Starting from the story of Davidito, the public pressure forced Berg to outlaw the widespread abuse that he once preached. And though it is believed that it never really came to an end, it was at the very least significantly reduced. And by the time the news began to cover Ricky's death, it proved to be the final wake-up call for many still within the group, as they finally began to see through the facade that had once controlled their lives.
Like Grandpa says, prayer is powerful. When we pray, things will happen and things will be different.
It's difficult to watch any of Life with Grandpa, knowing its history, its purpose, and the real people that it was inspired by. Though as soon as the media began taking notice of the cult, many members were made to purge the media that was sent to them that may be considered incriminating. And as a result, it appears that most of Life with Grandpa is missing to this day, and potentially destroyed forever. Currently, only 4 episodes have been recovered, and it's not even known how many more were released, or even what year the show started or ended. But considering how closely the show mirrored the book, it's possible that these potentially missing and destroyed episodes are much worse than the ones we have today. But despite not knowing the full extent of the show, it's clear that Life with Grandpa and the countless other programs that the family made did exactly what they wanted them to. They brainwashed an entire generation of the cult's children, and the effects were devastating.
But they become extremely agitated when we ask them about Moses David Berg's teachings on sex.
My Little Fish. Now, your father described that as a routine publication.
They're not having sex, they're just kissing and hugging in bed. That's not sex.
If you show it to other people, they don't understand. That stuff's not supposed to be publicized. So many people think sex is wrong. So many people hate us. But we just telling them the truth. We're just telling them it's not wrong. We're just telling them that there's nothing wrong with it. And here comes these publicizers doing them to everybody.
Between the strange content from the program itself, its obvious attempts at indoctrinating kids into a cult that was only ever going to harm them, the real-life people behind the characters, and the fact that this propaganda was so effective, I have no doubt that Life with Grandpa is the darkest children's show that I've ever come across. Though, shockingly, there's somehow one more layer to the story that makes this program even more disturbing.
How can it get more, bro?
And now, here's the exciting ending to this story.
One thing that we haven't discussed yet is who was actually the one behind the creation of the show. There's no doubt that it's David Berg's story, and was probably done at his request, but who was the one actually making it? Well, unfortunately, most of the people who worked on the show have their identities hidden by only using their first names, or even using straight-up aliases, so I could hardly find any information on any of them, with the exception of one, Peter Puppet. Peter Puppet was sort of a celebrity within the group, being responsible for numerous puppet shows, including one called The Lovettes, which was actually far more popular than Life with Grandpa, and was even supposedly broadcast on TV in the Philippines, with the show being a disturbing rabbit hole in its own right.
Would you like to hear a story? Well then, let's go see Grandpa in the garden. Hello, children. So nice of you to visit us in the garden today.
But Peter Puppet owned this group, and was in charge of the Lovettes team, and coincidentally, the Lovettes just so happened to be credited as the producers of Life with Grandpa. So Peter Puppet was, at the very least, one of the contributing creators of the show. And he also seems to be the one in charge of performing the actual musical numbers on the show, as they featured puppets that belonged to Peter and the Lovettes team, with these segments interestingly being credited to an unknown man named Peter Pioneer.
We have a beautiful song from Peter Pioneer.
It's not a concrete link, but it's clear that Peter Puppet had a role in the show's creation, and helped push the family's disturbed ideology onto hundreds of kids across the globe. But during the creation of Life with Grandpa, it seems his own beliefs were being tested. In the beginning of the video, we saw an example of the family's view on doctors.
Surely a doctor would have stitched it, but our God is still a God of miracles. Praise the Lord.
This sentiment was really common in the family, as Berg outright forbade any medicine or surgeries of any kind, instead preaching that miracles from God were the only way to heal. And because of this, many members of the family with chronic ailments or fatal illnesses were basically left to die. And one of those left suffering was Peter Puppet. His life is almost entirely a mystery, as he lived in hiding in one of the family's compounds, but according to some of the group's members, one day he noticed something in his neck, a small lump, and over the next few weeks and months, it began to slowly get bigger and bigger,
that cancer
to the point that Peter had to go visit a doctor in order to see what was wrong. And it was there he learned that inside of him was an aggressive tumor that was only going to get larger. The good news was the tumor was actually operable and could be removed with little risk to his life. But the bad news was surgeries were against the family's beliefs. And so he turned it down, instead opting to go back to the compound to pray the tumor away with the other members. This, however, never happened. Instead, the mass began to grow at an even faster rate, to the point that those around him could notice it, eventually leading to Peter hiding away in his room away from the others, not wanting to be seen. However, at some point during his struggle, a photograph was taken, showing the entire compound he was living with. And in the background, we see Peter, whose neck is impossibly large.
Yo, I saw that shit. I was like, nigga, is this photoshopped? Yo. Oh my fucking God.
From here, it said that Peter began to beg the family to take him to get the surgery, as the tumor was quite literally suffocating him slowly.
Nigga, even if you get the surgery, bro, it's too big at this point now, nigga. It's way too big now, nigga. You should have got it off for the first time when it was the good news. You should have got it out then. Pray the tumor away, my fucking you niggas. Oh my God, all y'all niggas need to go to hell.
Turning him against the very beliefs that he once forced upon so many children over the years. But the family forbade it, insisting that he wait for a miracle that was never going to come. With nowhere else to turn, Peter Puppet supposedly ended his own life shortly after this photograph was taken, adding the final pillar of context to Life with Grandpa, a program that can only be described as the darkest children's show ever created.
We've got to go now. Let's wave bye-bye, kids.
Don't wave at me.
God bless you. Come on, say bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Sadly I wandered for many a year.
The epilogue.
Driven by hunger and filled with fear. I must arrive.
Well, Grandpa dude was a sex cult leader. They had groomed and incest and some more shit. David Berg died of nitric causes in 1994 at age 75. He was never convicted of a single crime. Terrible vocals. Slow down. Karen Zerbe continues her husband's legacy by leading the family to this day, and they can't fucking track her down. She is a ghost. Somehow. She's a ghost. Like over a decade. Almost a decade and a half. she hasn't been seen publicly or fucking photographed. How?
I should arise and go.
Probably died years ago. So true. I mean, it was never on the internet though. You can't even see this next part. Hold on. Wait. Sarah Kelly left the family and went into hiding.
Father and home.
Probably in some third world countries. She was last seen living in Costa Rica in 2018, working with the seeds of hope. That she left the family, but it took you that long. Probably still going, probably. That's how cults operate. Upon learning of her true identity, Seeds of Hope severed ties with her, and she has never been seen again. That's crazy how she was even able to get inside the Seeds of Hope. Did they not background check? Like, oh, you want to join? Oh, yeah, join. What year? That's you? Niggas did a Google search. Was like, hey, what the fuck?
Back to my father and home.
Wait, I looked her up and I see that she has a website. Bro, what? It's been on for a long time, so probably know how to hide themselves. That's all I'm saying. Wait, Techi would later speak out against what her brother did, claiming that no abuse ever took place and that Ricky was simply disturbed. Oh, okay. Brainwashed that piece of fucking. She remains with the family to this day. Of course she does. Freak ass fucking group family. Oh my god.
Deeply repenting.
Due to the statute limitation, the many victims of the family will likely never receive the justice they deserve. The family continues its operations with strict rules against the abuse of children. However, they have never disavowed David Berg's teachings. They all think that shit is normal, bro. That shit is crazy. That's a crazy rabbit hole. Nah, I'm dead fried. We was watching a documentary about PDF file cult, and a nigga in the chat was going at all, bro. Bro, what the fuck? Dude, I don't even know anymore, bro. Shit was bad. How he even edit that shit, bro? Bro, Nick Crowley gets to the fucking rabbit holes and yo, this shit be so scary, bro. Not even scary, bro. It's just like, this shit fucks with your mind, bro. It's crazy. This chat cannot be taught, bro. This chat is literally, it's just the bad chat, bro. It'll be normal, and then this shit just goes to hell, bro. I swear, bro. This shit is crazy, bro. You probably have crazy nightmares because ain't no way, bro. He probably got nightmares, or he's just completely desensitized, bro. I don't know, bro. Either way, the nigga does it every time, bro. It's fucking insane, bro. That is insane. I can't believe I never heard of this. That's wild. I never heard of this before this video. Like, what, bro? That's crazy.